Current date is Saturday, October 10th. It's 8:25 p.m. There's deliberately no picture right now, okay, in case you're wondering. Yeah, I've been doing some dishes, and I thought I should update you on mold. That's right, those are the same cupcakes I showed you a while ago. As you can see, like right there, and covering this, and all around here, and there a little bit. Some of the mold has turned yellow. It's grown even more. Yeah, thought you'd find that interesting. Neat, huh? Time for talking part. I'm sure you're thrilled. Pull back here so the picture won't be too crazy. Get over to this. Side here. Sorry about this mess here. I'll just zoom in there and let you into my life. Hi. Let me just close those blinds there so the reflection of the lamp isn't disturbing. There we go. That's a little better. Sort of like making an instant wall. Just wanted to mention to you, I got your letter today, your barf bag letter. The postmark is October 6th, 1992. I'm glad to hear you got the toaster finally. A little later on, you seem to be a little confused about some of the hardware aspects of the Amiga. So I thought you might find it interesting if a little later on I give you a bit of a guided tour inside the Amiga. Because you've primarily been working with IBMs and such, eh? So you really don't know much about the Amiga except from what I've told you. And of course it is a damn good computer for graphics and animation. But from what I understand, with the video toaster, glad to hear you have the 8 megabytes of RAM. You're going to need that. If you have an accelerator card, you might want to read up on your accelerator card, see if it's expandable to more RAM, because the more RAM you can have, the better. You can get what they call SIM modules, which have basically 4 megabytes per module they plug into most accelerator boards. Or most accelerator boards use those. Use 32-bit RAM. And of course you'll need a megabyte of chip RAM, namely a Fat Agnes chip. You may even need a fatter Agnes chip, because that's what we had to get for ours. It wouldn't run with a regular Fat Agnes. Chip RAM is basically for animation and stuff, but I'll explain all that to you later. Let's see, what did you say you had here? I envy you, having a 150 meg hard drive, and you have the standard 50 megabyte. Yeah, that's interesting, because when we got our Amiga 2000, we got it like way back when it first came out, eh? They've changed the design of it, just the general look of it a little bit, modernized it a bit. When we got ours, the standard hard drive only came with 45 megabytes of storage. So they've added another 5 megabytes there. How generous, eh? Okay, you said you don't have the single frame controller. I just want to mention to you, from what I've been reading, and from my experience using the toaster, you simply cannot in any way record any animation at all without it. I don't know, there's just something about the way the toaster is. It will not play back animation at all, basically. It won't play it in real time. It can't, I guess. Because the way it does it is, when you're rendering the frames, it saves each frame to the hard disk, eh? That's the reason you need such a big hard disk. Each frame takes up about a megabyte of hard disk space. Anyway, it saves each frame individually, and then if you want to look at it, basically, or you have to record it onto tape, and you can only record it onto tape with a single frame controller. So what that does is it loads each frame in sequence off of the hard disk, and records them a frame at a time onto the videotape, which is why you also need a VCR with single frame capabilities, but I already know you already have that, so that's no problem. Your editor should have that. Whoa! Just booted my keyboard onto the floor. I think it's okay. Yeah, I'd say that sounds okay. You didn't say anything about a time-based corrector. Sounds like you have the same setup that we have. The only difference being you have a larger hard drive. Take a look at that list I sent you a while ago. That has all the pieces of equipment that you need. I can give you brand names and prices if you want. I can get that information for you very quickly, very easily. But I recommend you get the additional hardware because right now, as it stands, basically all you're going to be able to use it for is titles. And you'll be able to capture video frames, like you'll be able to digitize pictures, but only if it's being fed in live. And unless you have a sync generator, you're only going to be able to use one input as opposed to all four. Oh yeah, you also have an accelerator, so that's good. What kind is it? I'd be interested to know what kind it is and how many megahertz it runs at. You might want to check that out. So I'd be interested to know. I hope you have an 030 or an 040, like a 68030 or a 68040, because they are the fastest. Fastest 030 you can get runs at 50 megahertz. Fastest 040 you can get would probably be the Zeus 040 from Progressive Peripherals. That one runs at 33 megabytes, or 33 megahertz, sorry. And you can have, I think, up to 32 megabytes of RAM with it. In total, I worked it out on paper. A complete toaster setup, that's starting from scratch, getting the computer, the toaster, and all the add-ons. Complete toaster setup will cost you about 10 to 12 grand total. But I mean, you're using it in an actual production studio setting, so I can guarantee you your uncle would make it all back very quickly. You know, it wouldn't take long at all. In the professional video field, I'm sure 12 grand isn't a lot to spend on a piece of equipment, considering cameras run about 25 grand a piece. You know, just cameras. Oh, speaking of cameras, I had the privilege of accompanying a professional videographer, a fellow by the name of Ernie something or other, can't remember. Nice guy though, along with the head of programming for Greater Winnipeg Cable, which is a fairly large cable company that does basically half of Winnipeg. Another company called Videon does the other half. Anyway, at Greater Winnipeg Cable they use all Amigas there and everything. They have 7 Amigas, Amiga 2000s, Amiga 500s that they use for their, you know, their ad channels and community announcements, stuff like that. Pay TV preview station, things like that. Anyway, they were doing this video for one of the supermarkets in Selkirk because this particular supermarket, by the name of Gainers, as if that would mean anything to you, had won some kind of award, and part of the prize was to have a promotional video done. The only thing is you had to have a professional outfit do it and send it in, and then this place that held the contest or whatever does a video for you, like edits all the footage together for you. So anyway, I accompanied Ernie and Bob on this shoot. Oh, holy shit. Neighbor's dog is going insane, you may hear. Anyway, I accompanied them on this on the video shoot, and they were using a Sony Betacam camera, monster of a camera, $25,000 camera. And they had a professional tripod, and they had a dolly for it as well, like not the kind you put on tracks, but just like a free moving one. They put the tripod on that, and it was quite nice. I was really impressed with the setup. You know, it was a lot of fun. And it was nice actually being able to chat with a couple of professionals, you know, because I got to, you know, I got to talk shop, basically. We sat and after the shoot we talked for a while about the kind of video equipment we used. To talk about the video toaster. Ernie was asking me what kind of equipment we have at the cable office, and I explained to him, you know, we have just the regular 8mm, and we have a video toaster as well, and that I've been trying to convince my dad to get all the add-ons. Anyway, that was quite an interesting experience, and it was quite a thrill for me to see a Betacam up close. Like, I've heard about them and I've seen them. I think your uncle has a few of those, does he not? But anyway, I'd never seen one like up close and personal kind of thing like that. It was quite a thrill to actually see the professional equipment in action like that, you know, and to be there helping out. There was a specific list of shots we had to get for this video, and I just basically kept track of the shot list and helped lug some of the equipment around. But it was interesting. I really enjoyed it. It was an interesting experience. Yeah. Well, I believe you that you were on a plane with the bag here. And I saw the little messages inside. Ah, woman! and belch. Say, have you ever seen, I don't know, do you get much music? Well, I know it's broadcast there, but I'm just wondering if you personally receive it. If so, have you seen Ren and Stimpy? It's an absolutely insane cartoon, okay? Well, think of, you know the old Warner Brothers cartoons? Yeah. Well, think of those gone mad, you know? Like, imagine the Warner Brothers animators if they were really on drugs or something, you know? Because it's a really maniacal series. Anyway, I have almost all of the episodes that they broadcast on Much Music on tape. Have lots of them on tape. I'm taping them every week. They were previously just showing one story per week, like one little 15-minute story per week, or 10-15 minutes. But they've recently expanded the show. Just last week, or it's on Thursdays. Just last week they expanded the show to half an hour, so they have 2 stories, so that's kind of nice. Anyway, I'll show you Ren and Stimpy next, so you can have a look at it. And then I'll get back to you later. Adios. It's 8:44 p.m. right now, still Saturday, October 10th, and the mold is still festering. I know, you thought they were going to go and fly onto the floor, eh? Well, they didn't, so goodbye.